this first cut, this first week, with the mower wheel right next to the edge here. And so we're gonna go ahead and mow right along that edge. But we don't wanna do this on week 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because we'll start building a rut. You can see where it's already laid down the grass right here. So the way we're gonna solve that is by doing this. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to mow your lawn from a pro, like a pro. Let's get started. So I'm gonna make this simple for you. If you wanna mow like a pro, there's only 3 things you have to do. Number 1, you need to keep the blade sharp. You want a sharp blade because that's the key to cutting it perfectly. See, the mower has this rotation on it, and it's slicing the grass is the way the technology works with the mowers now. We used to have old mowers which were called reel mowers, which actually cut like a scissors. They're the old school ones that had a cylinder on them that would run the cylinder and it would slice the blade just like a scissors. Now, golf courses still use those on greens, but most homeowners don't have those anymore. Some do, some professionals and some crazy people have those, but most people don't. So we have a regular mower that's going to slice it. And while the mower is doing this, we need a sharp blade to make this work properly. Number 2, I have another video that talks about this in depth, but mow high. The higher you mow, the healthier your grass is gonna be. The key to a successful lawn is a deep, deep root system. And when you mow the lawn high, it retains more water and encourages those roots to grow deeper. So mow high. Number 3, which I'm gonna talk about the most in this video, is switching your patterns. You don't wanna mow the same direction every week. And right now, yes, here is the bonus tip. Don't mow fast. Everybody wants to turn the mower full speed and run through the lawn. Slow it down. Enjoy the mow, relax. Because the slower you go, the more blades you're going to cut, slice, snip, whatever. Slow it down. Enjoy the time you have with your lawn because it is fun. Now, if you're like me, when I'm mowing the lawn, I get to think. It's actually therapy for me. So slow it down. Enjoy the process and you'll find it's super fun, right? What I want to focus on is switching the pattern of mowing each and every week. And this is key because it does several things. When you switch the pattern each week, you're switching your lines. First of all, when you do that and you have lines going a different way each week, it makes the lawn look really pretty because the lines of the wheels are laying down, matting the grass, and you can actually create visual just art on the lawn by switching the lines each week. Another reason why you want to switch the direction each week is because if you're running over the same area every week, and you got to remember, you're watering your lawn often to keep it green and weed free, keep it healthy. And so the dirt is soft usually. And so when you run over the same tracks each and every week, you start to mat them down and you start to build ruts in the lawn in those same areas. And you don't want to do that. It's like a dog in a backyard. I use the example all the time of when a dog runs a trail in the backyard, he's going to just tear out the grass for that matter and compact that soil and build a rut in the lawn right there. That's what you're doing to a degree when you go over the lawn in the same direction. You have the wheels in the same spot every week. And in a little bit here, I'm going to show you how to combat that on the end of your lawn or the edge of your lawn, because you might be thinking, well, John, how do I go around the yard once or twice and not have the wheels in the same spot? We're going to talk about that in a bit. So by switching the direction each week, you're not only going to eliminate ruts, you're going to have beautiful lines in your yard. And lastly, you're going to encourage that grass to go straight up. And it's going to look like it's growing straight up because you're switching the patterns each week. It's not matting down, it's not laying down. Maybe one week you want to go north and south. Maybe the next week you want to go east and west. Maybe the next week you want to go diagonal this way. So you have many options of switching the pattern, even in the small areas there. And that is going to just make your lawn so much better. And again, nobody wants those ruts because when you're walking on the lawn, you feel them, you trip on them over. Just think about it. If you go over the same area for years while you're mowing your lawn, you're gonna just build these ruts, which nobody wants. So let's solve that problem. Let's solve it now. So this is what cross-cutting looks like. You can see from this angle, you have lines moving to and from the camera here. And if I move this way, you can actually see lines in this direction. So this is what we call a checkerboard pattern. So this is really cool. Here's a pro tip. You can actually double cut or cross cut the same week you're mowing. So you can do all this in the same mowing. Now, quite honestly, I'll only do this if I really have guests coming over or I want to play with the lawn. I won't cross cut every week because it takes a lot of effort. You got to go over the lawn twice. But you can see here that, boy, it's beautiful looking this way, and it's really beautiful looking at it this way. And then when you catch the angle, you can see both of the ways like that, and it looks really beautiful. So that's another pro tip, is that you can cross cut your lawn during the same mowing and make that beautiful checkerboard look. So when you're mowing the lawn, generally the first 2 passes you make on the edge of the lawn. So it'd be 1 pass here, 2 pass here. So this is 2 widths of the lawnmower. You want to make 2 paths so you could turn really easily when you come to the end of the area, end of the lawn. So when I start mowing the lawn, I'm going to take 2 paths, 1 here and then 1 here, and then I'm going to start to make my lines in whatever direction I choose. Now here's where the problem is. On the edge here this is where you can start to build ruts, because you can't switch your edge. You're always going over the edge at the same time. So let me tell you what you can do. So for example, we're going to start with week 1. We're going to mow our lawn. We're going to put our wheel right here on the edge. It's going to be really close to the edge here. So we're going to mow this first cut, this first week, with the mower wheel right next to the edge here. And so we're going to go ahead and mow right along that edge as close as we can get. That's week 1. But we don't want to do this on week 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, because we'll start building a rut. You can see where it's already laid down the grass right here. If you keep going over this area all season long, you're going to build a divot, or start to develop a divot and build a rut in here. And that's just doesn't look good. It's always a problem, and it just gets worse and worse season after season. So the way we're going to solve that is by doing this. The following week when you mow, you're going to come off the edge here anywhere between 6 or 8 inches. So you're going to put your wheel way out here. And you may ask, John, how am I going to take care of this grass right here? You're going to use your string trimmer to trim this area, but you want to keep that wheel off this edge, because by doing that, you're now going to not be making a rut right here all the time. You're going to be developing here. Now let's say time goes on and you don't want to be doing ruts here and here and here. You can switch it a little more, and so maybe halfway in the middle, the 3rd week. So you're not on the edge, you're not out 8 inches, but you're right here in the middle. So the whole point being is, what you want to do is each week, you just want to go ahead and switch. Oh, we got a friend back there. Oliver, thanks for helping. You just want to switch the distance you are away from the edge. So 1 week close, 1 week far, 1 week in the middle, so you're not building a rut and creating a problem with your lawn. And that's another reason why we actually switch patterns every week, is because we don't want to build ruts in the lawn. Another thing that's really great about switching the pattern each week is that it allows the grass to grow upright. And let me correct myself, it's not really that we're allowing it to grow upright, because the grass is going to grow upright anyways, but as we walk on it throughout the week, our kids play in it, our dog goes on it, the mower's running a certain way on it, there's things that are dragging underneath the mower that are laying the grass down. So when we switch the pattern, it keeps us from running over the same area the same way week after week, so it allows that grass to just look like it's growing straight up like it should all the time. So that's how you get that beautiful look, that beautiful straight look, and those beautiful lines. There are things you can do and options you can add to your mower to get that really, really defined lines. A lot of times they sell attachments for the back of the mower, where you can put a metal cylinder on there with weight in it, and that lays down the grass and creates those beautiful lines in opposite directions. I don't do that. I'm not worried about that. I'm an average homeowner here at my house in that sense, and I'm not going to spend the time doing that. But if you wanted to play around and this is your hobby, you could also put a heavy roller on the back and really get creative with your lines. I'm using the weight of the mower and the wheels to create the lines for me, and that's how I'm getting the look that I want. So just to conclude and sum this up, every week or every time you mow, if it's not every week, if it's every other week, or if it's 2 times a week, whatever your frequency is, switch your pattern. Mow a different pattern every week. You've got many different options. You can go back and forth, you can go back and forth east and west, you can go back and forth north and south, and then you can do diagonal one way, and then you can do diagonal the other way. And then you can switch the pitch of your diagonals another way. So you have somewhere between 10 and 15 different options of how you can actually switch the pattern. There's not just 2, there's 10 to 15 different options of switching the pattern throughout each week. So I recommend that you do that. Switching the pattern is going to just give you that nice look, keep the grass growing straight, and remember, back off the edge of your lawn each week. Don't have the wheel go the same direction on those 2 outer paths each week. And you'll really see a difference in less ruts, beautiful lawn, and just a gorgeous cut. You're gonna look like a professional. As always, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, hit like and subscribe, and remember, it's been statistically shown, green grass definitely makes you smile.